Hello folks, welcome along to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about fly rods, and in particular the Versatile fly rod. So if you want to know what the Versatile fly rod is, be sure to stay tuned. Tying up a few little nymphs here and a couple of little dry flies, and join me soon on the bank of the river. Okay, so what is a Versatile fly rod? Well, I know one thing, I wouldn't like to be a beginner fly fisher, buying a new fly rod and hoping that I'm going to get the right thing for the job. There's so many different rods available now in comparison to relatively few years ago. We have still water rods, lake rods, nymphing rods, dry fly rods, and mixtures of everything in between. So it's not easy to for a beginner in particular to choose a rod for their chosen style of fly fishing. So the two principal methods that I use and that I enjoy the most on rivers like this, and I'm talking about river fishing in particular, is upstream nymphing and dry fly fishing. And the rod I have here, this little rod here, I've had it a long time, at least 25 years. So it's old technology, if you like, but I've caught countless thousands of trout on this rod. In comparison to a modern rod, I suppose the technology in the modern rods, or so they tell us, is really advanced, and I'd agree with them to a point. This old rod still does the trick. It's 9 foot for a 3-weight line, and because of the style of fishing that I like, namely the upstream nymph and the dry fly, I can easily switch between the two using this rod. What I do is I set it up as normal, and then I attach a 14-foot, 12 or a 14-foot tapered leader, and then I can fish my single upstream nymph, and if I see trout rising, I can immediately just switch to a dry fly and fish the dry fly at the same time. Now, you could possibly do that with a lot of other rods as well, but I just find that 9 foot for 3-weight is ideal for my type of fishing. Now, you could maybe use, for example, a Euro nymphing rod, a 10 foot for a 2, for example. You could possibly do the same thing with it. But the rod is principally designed for fishing the Euro nymph, so it's very soft, and I like a fast actioned rod for dry fly fishing. So with that much said, I'm going to get this together, and I'm going to throw, currently there's very little happening, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a single nymph, and I'm going to do a little upstream nymphing, and hopefully with any little bit of luck, the day is starting to warm up a little bit, although the wind is downstream, not good, but maybe with a bit of luck we might see a few trout rising, and I can switch to the dry fly, which is, over and above everything else, my favourite method of catching trout. There's nothing like seeing the trout come up, take off the surface. So stay with me for that. Now, if you're planning on fishing a big river or a lake or a still water, well, this isn't really the rod for you, because the casts of necessity with a rod like this are relatively short, usually no more than 4 or 5 lengths of the rod. There you go. So the casts are short, and this rod is eminently suitable for short, accurate casting. And if you're going fishing a big river or a lake, you'll need different equipment. So this is a very versatile little rod for the type of fishing I do. As you can see, it works well. You can swap immediately from one method to another in literally seconds. sign of any flies hatching or trout rising. No surprise really when considering cold downstream wind. I'm going to stop here momentarily. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to I'm going to grease the fly line, the front part of the fly line. I want to make sure that it's floating nice and high. So I'm putting on a bit of grease here now. It's important to have the front part of the fly line floating, all the fly line if possible, but definitely the front part, because you need to have very quick responses when a fish takes. And if your line is under the water, the response will be slowed down. So there it goes, it's floating high again now. That's what I like. And we got another fish. Looks like a nice fish too. He's boring deep. Oh yeah, beautiful fish. Try and get him on the reel here. Oh, he's putting up quite a fight. Oh yeah, what a great fish this is. I love it. Oh, beautiful. He's putting up a serious fight. Oh yeah, what a beaut. He's got a cavernous mouth. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous fish. So, here you go, buddy. Whee. Now I just spotted a trout rising up there, just the flow coming out this way, and then it turns this way, and I've seen him rise twice. Whether he'll rise again or not, it's going to be a difficult proposition one way or the other, because we've still got that downstream wind to contend with and those tussocks of grass. So I'm going to change to a dry fly now, and then I'll come back to you and we'll see what happens. Now I've tied on my little size 16 dry olive, and I'm going to try and sneak up on it. They're up there, the other side of those tussocks. So here. Folks, versatile fly rod. If you're fishing small to medium sized rivers and you're just starting out, that would be my recommendation to you. If you're interested in fishing the two styles that I like, the upstream nymph and the dry fly. Ultimately, Versatile swap between both methods in literally seconds. And 3-weight line, ideal for a bit of delicate presentation later on in the summer when that's required. A light reel is as light as possible. Lightness is everything, and delicacy. As regards the make of a rod, there's a lot of makes out there, and there's a lot of upmarket names and stuff that you can spend a lot of money on, but that's not really necessary. Go to a tackle shop or dealer, handle a few 9-foot 3 weights, see what feels comfortable in your hand. Forget about the price tag. Because it costs €500 and this one only costs €100, it makes no real difference. In my opinion, what feels comfortable in your hand and what you'd like to use is the most important. So that's it, folks. That's today's video on the Versatile Fly Rod. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you found it a little educational as well. And thanks again for watching. Agus godi an céad ó eile, go dé sibh sláán agus bígí ag íoscracht.